Hello, this is Vampire. I'm sorry, I meant to make this video last night, and I tried several times, but it didn't work out. What do I want to talk about? The MMA fighter that demolished the Tai Chi master a while back. This MMA fighter, was he banned from China? But anyway, what he did caused an outrage over there, and so he's back, and he recently fought a Wing Chun guy. And from my understanding, the Wing Chun guy had really good credentials, lineages, something along those lines. In other words, he was legit, right? And so they fought, and pretty much once again, it was very easy for the MMA fighter to dominate this guy. So he dominated the Wing Chun guy. Thankfully, though, this time around, they implemented a referee and strict rules compared to the last time. So the MMA fighter, I think, was not able to demolish this Wing Chun guy as bad as he did the Tai Chi master, because he really, really messed up and brutally attacked the Tai Chi master. But this time around, the Wing Chun guy, I think, was protected much more so by the format. So I'm happy for that, because, I don't want to see senseless violence. So anyway, does this mean once again that Wing Chun or Tai Chi sucks? And I don't believe that. I don't know what China is trying to do with these kinds of events. Are they trying to? First of all, I don't know if it's sponsored by a Chinese organization, and are they trying to put up like all these traditional Chinese martial arts, like praying mantis, wushu, all these styles up against MMA? Is that what they're trying to do? I don't know. And what bothers me about this is that I know there is something called Sanda, which is the same thing, from my understanding, as Sanshao, which is their full contact fighting competition. It's different from MMA, but it's similar along the lines, because it is full contact. And it has more rules, but it's along the lines of MMA. They've had that for a long time. So they got plenty of fighters that know how to fight over there. And there are plenty of Tai Chi guys, Wing Chun guys that know how to fight, that they do full contact fighting. They're not everyone in the school is that way, but when you have like a Wing Chun school, there's probably a small percentage of the people that train in Wing Chun that go, I want to test myself out. I want to do full contact fighting. I want to go fight against other styles, and they go do it, So if you get a Wing Chun guy that knows how to fight and put him up against the MMA guy, then I think it would be, I'm not going to say he's going to win, because we don't know that, but 100% it'll be a much better fight. Same with the Tai Chi guy. There are Tai Chi full contact fighters out there in China. And I don't know how many there are, but I know they exist. And the reason why I say this is because the Tai Chi master that fought the MMA guy a while back, that dude is not a fighter. I think it's obvious from watching the film. People see that and they go, oh, this guy's Tai Chi's not legit, or whatever. I don't think so. I don't know for sure, but I bet you his Tai Chi's really good. I bet you he's a good teacher. Maybe, I don't know, maybe his skills are high up there in Tai Chi. He has a lot of information on Tai Chi. But the mistake is people go, well, if that's true, how come he did so poorly? And because they're two different things, So you have a teacher here, a Tai Chi teacher versus a fighter. Of course the fighter's going to win. Put him in a classroom setting. Who can teach better? The teacher's going to teach better than the fighter, of course. So it's kind of like that. Same with the Wing Chun guy that fought recently against the MMA guy. I bet that guy has solid, legit Wing Chun. but he's not a fighter. So you got a Wing Chun teacher going up against an MMA fighter. Of course, it's not about Wing Chun versus MMA. It's about teacher versus fighter. That's what happened. So to put it in different terms so that MMA people can understand, it would be like getting Mike Tyson's boxing coach, the coach, and putting him in there against Holyfield. Of course the coach is going to lose. He's good at coaching. He's not a fighter, you know? So to me, it's very obvious what the result, even before it happens, because, you know, I go, this guy's probably not a fighter. He's the teacher, you know? So that's the problem. So they need to get a Tai Chi fighter. They need to get a Wing Chun fighter, a Praying Mantis Kung Fu fighter. That's what they need. And the thing is, do they exist? And I'm saying they do. Absolutely they do. And the problem is, and this is maybe the public's fault, and who knows if that comes from movies, you know, but the public perception is if they see a Tai Chi fighter compete against, let's say, an MMA fighter, right? I guarantee you that the Tai Chi fighter is going to do a lot better than the Tai Chi teacher, right? The Tai Chi master. And then B, on the comment section, if it's a YouTube video, on the comment section, there's going to be lots of people going, that's not Tai Chi. And that's total public misconception. The public doesn't understand. Well, you know, they're expecting to see the textbook stuff, you know, what the Tai Chi master, what the Tai Chi teacher can do in demonstrations. They want to literally see that, a literal translation into fighting. That's because they don't understand fighting. They don't know what real fighting is about. When you go into real fighting, it's not saying that the style is bad. It's not saying that those techniques are wrong or anything like that. It's just when you get those textbook stuff and you go to real life application, it changes. That's all it is. You know, just like in college, if you learn math and then now, you know, you go into a situation where you actually need math, it's different. It becomes a different scenario, you know? So that knowledge versus applied knowledge, once again, that doesn't mean that the style is bad. That's the way to learn it, you know, because if you said, okay, the way we're going to learn Tai Chi is we're going to go full contact from day one. Most people can't handle that. Most people will drop out. The fighters are a small percentage in the population. Not everyone can be a fighter. And maybe everyone has maybe the potential to be able to fight and defend themselves, but to be an actual fighter, and that's your profession, it's a very, very small percentage. So if you start training everybody like that, that's not a good way to go, you know? Like you see right now, MMA is very, very popular, but how many people can actually do that kind of training, you know? So, you know, you have to understand that. How many people are willing to go through that? And, you know, like even myself, I was willing to do that at a certain time in my life. Right now, I'm not. I'm not at the age to be putting on, you know, these MMA gloves and going at it full contact with somebody, and then also submissions, you know, and doing, you know, just going full force like that. I'm not at that age to be doing that. You know, it's 100% silly. I'm not making a career out of it. It's not beneficial to me. You know, the amount of benefits that I get, sure, I'll get fighting experience. I'll probably become a better fighter, you know, but you know, it's not worth all the other risks like injury, you know, and just injury alone, period. You know, the injury that you're going to get from the training, the injury that you're going to get from the actual full contact sparring and all that, it's not worth it, you know, once again, especially for me right now at my age. I did it before in the past, you know, because why? Because I had studied a lot of traditional martial arts and I enjoyed them, and to this day I enjoy them, but it was also like I need to know the framework in which I'm going to be applying this stuff. I need to know what it's like when the other person's fully resisting. I need to know what it's like to operate under pressure where the other guy's trying to impose their will on me, you know? So in that case, I'm trying to apply that stuff. So I needed to know what that was like, you know. So anyway, yeah. I hope that makes sense to you guys. You know, once again, there are Wing Chun fighters, Tai Chi fighters out there, and for some reason, they're not bringing those guys into the mix. They're only bringing teachers into these versus battles, style versus style battles, which is insane, you know. And I guess, you know, maybe they're trying to make a certain point, you know, and hopefully that point is to say that the learning and the info and all that is different from application, because just because you know a ton doesn't mean that you're automatically going to be able to fight. That it's completely separate. One person's an encyclopedia, you know, that's what they are, a wealth of knowledge, and they pass it down to another person, as much info as they can, and that person passes it down to the next and the next, and that's how you get tradition. That's a traditional martial art, you know. And within that group, there are a couple of fighters. There are a few fighters in there that go test it out, you know, that go battle against other styles. Those are the dudes that you need. Those are the fighters. I'm not saying those are the legit guys, you know, but those are the fighters. You know, it's just different. Scholar versus fighter. So I look at myself, and I can tell you that I have fighting experience, but I am much more of the scholar, you know, and then I am part teacher, and I have a little bit of fighter in me, but very small, you know, and I'm smart enough to know that. I know that about myself. I look at my training, and I can tell you what part is actual fight training, what part is, you know, I'm learning. I'm just working on skill and trying to open up more of the puzzle, solve more of the puzzles, you know, and other stuff is trying to pass it on to people, to explain it as clear and present it to people as clear as possible. So those are 3 different things that I'm working on while I train martial arts, you know. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you for watching, and take care, folks.